Imagine how boring life would be if there was only one sort of person around. Just like fruit trees need other fruit trees and bees to cross-pollinate, we need each other. Paul's metaphor is of an olive tree, a cultivated tree, which represents his people, the Jewish people. Through lack of faith and lack of responsiveness to God's offer of covenant family membership, are actually removed from the tree, branches stripped off from the covenant tree. He's taken wild olive branches with wild olives and he's grafted them in to the tree. We had a grafted tree in our backyard that didn't survive the winter, probably because we didn't really water it during the dry winter months. But it had 3 different kinds of apples growing on it. It would have been an awesome tree. God's tree is an awesome tree. The way Paul described it in the early 1st century was that he was bringing in the non-religious. He was bringing in the Gentiles. He was bringing in wild olive branches. And as the fruit came, we would see a tree full of one kind of olive, the cultivated kind, and then another kind of olive, the wild kind. Whatever it was clear that God's desire was for this tree, a picture of his covenant family, to have multiple types of olives on it, multiple kinds of people. Christianity, at least in America, has been criticized for its segregation, that you have different churches of different colors. Rarely do they mix together. But Paul's not done with the metaphor. He says, don't get smug because you wild olives, you might be stripped off too if you walk away from family. If walking in fidelity is more than you're interested in, more than you want. And guess who'll be put back in? The cultivated branches that were set aside. Not to die, not to burn in the fire, but on hold, waiting to be regrafted back in. God fulfilling it all. This is not about election or predestination. This is about God using each other to bring each other into the kingdom. That everybody, that all in all can be included. All of faith can be included into this olive tree. Thinking a lot of my dad this week since he passed last week. And I think about a season he went through where he cut himself off from the tree and he was set aside for maybe 20 years. And then after that time seems to have been grafted back into that tree. He was living in the community of that tree and bearing fruit from that tree. My dad, the cultivated olive, now the wild olive grafted back in. The kingdom of God is an awesome place.